everybody, and welcome back to another Kraken Packs video. I'm your host, Mr. Brevers. That's right, it's time to get into box number 1 of Rivals of Ixalan. That's right, first box of my case. Let's open it up. I may not open every box from my case, just because this is a smaller set. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what we get out of the boxes, and we'll go from there. Because I know that you will end up with a lot of duplicates from this set if you open up a lot of product. Mainly because it is a smaller set. So let's see. Let's see what we find. Pack 1. Box 1, Pack 1. Jungle Creeper. Raging Regisaur. Daring Buccaneer. And, ooh, a flip card to start things. Path of Metal as our first rare. Alright, alright. Path of Metal is a card that is enchantment. It's one of the flip cards. I guess I should just go over it quickly here. Let's just... Oh, you can see it's miscut too. I don't know if you guys can see that, but the top border is quite high. And in fact, in the top left-hand corner, you can see the mark there. Move it this way. You can see that little white mark there is generally the cut line of where it's supposed to be cut. So it's interesting. Anyway, Path of Metal is when Path of Metal enters the battlefield, deals 1 damage to each creature that doesn't have First Strike, Double Strike, Vigilance, or Haste. Whenever you attack with at least 2 creatures with one of those things, First Strike, Double Strike, Vigilance, or Haste, you transform it. You transform it, you can pay a red and a generic to do 2 damage to each opponent, a white and 2, tap, destroy target, a random creature that attacked this turn. There you go. And it adds 1 mana of any color. So, one of the many flip cards from this set. Pack 2, Pack 2. I kind of jumped ahead and realized I hadn't really explained anything. I apologize. Woodland Stream, Reckless Rage, Expel from Orazka. And our second rare is a Protean Raider, which is a 2/2 for 3 that says, if you attacked with a creature this turn, you may have it enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. And we got a foil Brazen Freebooter. And we got a Huatley emblem. Huatley. Let's open this bad boy up and see what we find. Boom. Forerunner of the Heralds, Reaver Ambush, Raging Regisaur again, and a Dead Man's Chest. 2 mana enchantment that enchants a creature an opponent controls. Whenever the enchanted creature dies, exile cards equal to its power from the top of its owner's library. You may cast non-land cards from among them for as long as they remain exiled. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to do so. It's an interesting way to, like, it, allows you to, play cards from your opponent's deck for them playing big derps that you then remove, which is kind of interesting. So, I mean, if you have some decent removal in your deck, Dead Man's Chest can be very powerful, I guess. Riverwise Augur, Brainstorm on a stick, on a body, I guess. Swift Warden, Resplendent Griffin, and Tetsamok, Primal Death. 6/6 Elder Dinosaur for 6/6 for 6 with Death Touch. Pay 1, reveal it, put a prey counter. When it enters the battlefield, destroy all creatures your opponent controls with a prey counter on it. These friggin' Chandra Minecraft ads. Minecraft must have paid Hasbro some money to put their ads in MTG, I guess. Hornswoggle, Reckless Rage, Expel from Orazka again, and then a World Shaper. This guy's interesting to me because he's a 3/3 for 4, right? Which is not amazing per se, but whenever he attacks, you can mill the top 3 cards of your deck if you want. But when he dies, you return all lands from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. And he's not interesting really to me for Standard or anything like that, but he's interesting to me for Commander, Modern, that kind of stuff, because in those sets you play a lot of things like Wastelands and Fetch Lands and things like that this can get back. So added value. It's kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. It's an interesting thing, is all I'm saying. You can definitely pull off some interesting tricks with it. Legion Lieutenant, very good for the vampire deck. Forsaken Sanctuary, Majestic Helopterus, and a Siege Horn Ceratops as our rare here. A 2/2 for 2, white and a green. Enrage. If it was dealt damage this turn, put 2 1/1 counters on him. And we got a foil Colossal Dreadmaw. Woo! Colossal Dreadmaw, yeah. That guy. The guy that they reprinted in this set. Because I guess green needed another big derp. Or needed to be able to get the same big derp in draft just as often. I guess that was probably the feeling behind it. Riverwise Augur again. Very good. Reaver Ambush. Resplendent Griffin again. And another flip card. Profane Procession. So this is look, this flip card too is also miscut. Wow, you can actually, it's almost completely cut off at the bottom. Can you see there? Like it's almost cut off at the bottom. And the top of the card is super big. So, very miscut. So it looks like our flip cards in this box might be all super miscut. You can see the white dot on this side fairly easily of where the cut line is supposed to be. Anyway, so Profane Procession is a 3-mana enchantment that you pay 5, exile target creature. Then if there are 3 or more cards exiled with this card, you flip it. You can pay 4 and put a creature that it's exiled with this card into the battlefield under your control. Actually, does it say? Yeah. Put a creature card exiled with this permanent, because it's technically the same permanent, even though it's got a different name, and it's come back flipped, and all that good stuff. It's kind of interesting. They had to word it that way, otherwise you wouldn't be able to go get the stuff, right? Foul Orchard, Aquatic Incursion, Golden Demise, and our rare here is a Release to the Wind. This is an interesting card. The thing that I've seen this used most for is saving your own creature from a removal spell. So it exiles it, and then you can play it again for free without paying its mana cost. Doing it to your opponent doesn't seem amazing, because you're basically allowing them to then cast, like, you're basically like, I bounce your creature so that you can't block me, and I get in for 2 damage, or 4 damage, or whatever it is. If it's not lethal, it doesn't matter, because your opponent's just going to play it again next turn for free. And then they're just going to play whatever else they were going to play on top of that. So, Jungle Creeper, Woodland Stream, Golden Demise, and Path of Discovery. This is a 4-mana enchantment that says whenever a creature enters battlefield under your control, it explores. This card did a lot of work for me in pre-release. I don't know how I feel about it. It was definitely very slow. It did a lot of work for me, which was good, but also the fact that it was so slow, it just kind of like, if my opponent was very aggro, which in the games that it did work for me, they weren't. They weren't aggro, so it was fine. But if I came up against a very aggro opponent, someone that was in like Merfolk or vampires, it would have been bad. Like it would not have been a good turn 4 play at all. Mausoleum Harpy, Strength of the Pack. This card did a lot of work for me in my drafts. Shake the Foundations, also a very good card. And our first Mythic, which is a Zakama Primal Calamity. So that's the big old 9/9 for 9 mana. 1 white, 1 green, 1 red, 6 generic. Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. And when he enters the battlefield, you untap all lands you control. As long as you cast it. Which you did. And then you can pay a red and 2 to do 3 damage to target creature. Or you can pay a green and 2 to destroy target artifact or enchantment. Or you can pay a white and 2 to gain 3 life. So our first Mythic. A big old derpy dinosaur. First Mythic, big old derpy dinosaur. And I mean, he's not that derpy, but he's got 3 heads. So I just picture him like having the argument like the 3-headed giant in Quest for the Holy Grail. Let's kill him. No, let's not kill him. Alright, let's have tea first and then kill him. Alright. Pride of Conquerors. Hey! Zetalpa. Primal Dawn. The white Elder Dino. 4/8 flying, double strike, vigilance, trample, indestructible. Just this card is just like a okay. Do you have a way to exile me or pacify me? If not, see you later. See you later. Eh. All right. Riverwise Augur, Raging Regisaur, Daring Buccaneer, and a Seafloor Oracle. Oh, and we got a foil flip card. Foil Journey to Eternity. Well, I will take that. Thank you very much. Journey to Eternity is probably my favorite of the new flip cards. This card seems really good. Paying 5 mana and tapping this to return a creature from your graveyard to the battlefield seems pretty good. I feel like I'm okay with that. It's not as fast as things like Entomb and all that whatnot. Or not Entomb, but like whatever those other ones are. Rise from the Grave and... Not Rise from the Grave. Crap! I don't remember the name of it. Anyway, very good card. Very good card. Very good flip. I think it's the highest priced flip card in the set right now, too. Which means a foil copy is probably even better. So that's good. Good news. Also, it's just a great card. I'm totally fine with it. Jungle Creeper. Everdawn Champion. Forerunner of the Coalition. And Bishop of Binding. A little 1/1 for 4 that exiles a creature. Exile target creature and opponent controls until Bishop of Binding leaves the battlefield. Whenever Bishop of Binding attacks, target vampire gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the power of the exiled card. So if you exile a big old derp, a big old 6/6 Colossadon or something along those lines with this guy, you can give +6/+6 to a creature when that guy attacks. Now, of course, that being said, he's a 1/1, so if you don't give the +6/+6 to himself, he's probably going to die. We had a Slippery Scoundrel there, and then we have a Ravenous Chupacabra, one of the very good uncommons. Just a removal spell with a body. Who doesn't want that, right? I had the conversation with someone else where, like, there's that black removal spell, which is 2 black and 2, and it's the same card. Sorcery speed, only this one comes with a 2/2. Silvergill Adept, very good as well. And our rare is a Slaughter the Strong. So each player chooses any number of creatures he or she controls with total power 4 or less, then sacrifices all other creatures he or she controls. So it's a good way of dealing with things, and I'm going to put this down here because that's a cool emblem. That's a cool elemental token for the Mythic Phoenix from this set. It's always good to have a couple of those kicking around in case you open the Phoenix and need the tokens. Relentless Raptor, Flood of Recollection, Arterial Flow, and a Dire Fleet Daredevil. Very good little rare. People are sort of calling this guy Reverse Snapcaster Mage is what I've heard, which is, I mean, a cute name. Cute name, I guess, but like it's not really accurate. Doesn't have Flash, has First Strike instead. Still a 2/1 for 2, pretty close. Red instead of blue, all right. That's pretty close to reverse. Exile a target card from instant or sorcery from your opponent's graveyard, and you can cast it this turn. All right, pretty close, pretty close. And we got a foil Swift Warden. Ooh, fancy. Fancy foil Swift Warden. I can foil out my Merfolk deck, you know? That's what I should be doing, right? Foiling out my Merfolk deck seems totally fair. I really don't play with foils at all. Stone Quarry. Forerunner of the Legion, another Swift Warden, this time not foil, and then a Wayward Swordtooth. This guy is pretty bonkers in Limited. He's a 5/5 for 3. He can't attack or block unless you have the City's Blessing. However, he lets you play additional lands each turn. So on turn 3, you drop this guy and then play a 4th land. So now you're sitting at 5 permanents on turn 4 minimum, and that's as long as you haven't played something on turn 1 or turn 2. So he's very good in Limited, especially since on turn 4 you can then drop your 5th and 6th land if you have it in your hand for whatever reason. For instance, any reason to explore. If you have Explore and it puts lands in your hand, that guy lets you play them. Gets you to your Ascend a lot quicker. Thunder Herd Migration. Sky Marcher Aspirant. Sadistic Sky Marcher. And our rare is a Temple Altasaur. That's a little 3/4 for 5 that says, if a source would deal damage to another dinosaur you control, prevent all but one of that damage. So it's very good for helping you trigger your Enrage, things like that, because all your dinos then only take 1 damage from each source as opposed to getting murdered. Getting murdered by whatever they block or get blocked by. Strength of the Pact, Cacophodon, Everdon Champion, and our rare is an Awakened Amalgam. This is a 4-mana star where its power and toughness are equal to the number of differently named lands you control, which is not many. So he's not very good in draft or sealed, unless you somehow pull like a couple of the flip lands, and then also a couple of like the fixing lands in your sealed or draft pool. He's not very good. Forerunner of the Legion, Pirate's Pillage, Crested Herd Caller, and a Radiant Destiny. This card is very good though. It's a enchantment with Ascend for 3 that says you pick a creature type when you play it. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1 as long as you have Ascend, or the City's Blessing, I should say. They also have Vigilance. So it's just, in my opinion, a better Always Watching, except that it only works in tribal decks. Which, let's be honest here, most of the time you're going to be playing a tribal deck if you're playing something like that kind of enchantment anyway. Like the Always Watching was a fair... It wasn't really a tribal deck, but it was pretty close. Thunderherd Migration, Stormfleet Swashbuckler, Famished Paladin, and a Deep Root Elite. Very good little rare. Nice for the Merfolk deck. Worth a couple bucks as well. So there you go. There you have it. Let's see if we can hurry this along a little bit and not make it a ridiculously long video. I apologize. I like to talk and I like to banter about the cards because why not, right? All these people that just open the cards up and don't really talk about them. Brass's Bounty. I haven't seen this card yet, so this is 7-mana sorcery, red and 6. For each land you control, create a colorless treasure artifact token, and that's all it does. Huh. Interesting. And we got a Foil Plains. And it's actually one of the Rivals lands, which is nice, because the foil land we got in the other one was not a land from Rivals. Huh. Huh. Now, if you're wondering, too, how, you know, I may have messed up there a little bit and sort of reference, this is box 1. This is box 1 for YouTube. Box 2 is opened already because I opened it on Twitch, and I can't upload from Twitch to YouTube within a 24-hour window because Twitch technically owns it for the first 24 hours. So I had to film this one offline to upload to YouTube for Monday. So box 2 for next Monday is already filmed, which is why you might hear me reference things that it's like, oh, I've already opened this, oh, I've already opened that. Siren Reaver, Daring Buccaneer, and a flip card as our rare. Journey to Eternity. And so, again, here, another miscut. So there you go. So, like, our foil was not miscut, but another flip card. And so far, every flip card in this set has been very miscut from the point of, like, it's right along the bottom. The text is right along the bottom, and you can see the dot on the top. So this is, we've already been over this one, so I'm not going to show it off too much. Like, holy moly. I know that there, you know, like I know that there are lots of miscuts out there and stuff like that, but like, geez. Stone Quarry, another Ravenous Chupacabra, very good, good to see. Silvergill Adept, and a rare I haven't seen yet, which is Mastermind's Acquisition. This is a 4-mana, choose one, search your library for a card, put it into your hand, and then shuffle your library. Choose a card you own from outside the game and put it into your hand. One of the guys in my pre-release on Sunday pulled this, and he pulled a foil Angrath as his promo card, and he was like, I don't know if I'm going to run it. And I went, you have to ask yourself this question. Is a second copy of Angrath in your deck worth playing? Would you play a second copy of Angrath? If you would, playing Mastermind Acquisition is basically what it is. It's a second copy of Angrath. Go and get it. Hornswoggle, Adzokun Seer, Direfleet Neckbreaker, and our rare, a Silent Gravestone. The guy sitting across from me at the pre-release on that Sunday opened 2 of these in his sealed pool, and I went, oh, that's not great for you. Cards in graveyards can't be targets of spells or abilities. Pay 4, tap, exile Silent Gravestone, draw, and all cards from all graveyards, draw a card. Is not really a rare you want to see in your sealed pool. There's not enough graveyard interaction in this set. Yes, there is some stuff like Recover and, for instance, the Direfleet Daredevil and that kind of stuff. But, like, there's just not enough to warrant running that in a sealed pool. Foul Orchard, Thunderherd Migration, Famished Paladin, and an Induced Amnesia. Enchantment for 3. Exile target player's hand. They draw that many cards. When this leaves play, they get the cards back. So there you go. Little tricksy enchantment that makes either you or your opponent discard his hand and then draw that many cards and then get that many back if the enchantment ever leaves. Could be interesting for yourself. Enter the Unknown. Because it doesn't say that you discard the other cards. You just get the cards back. Charging Tuscannon, Arterial Flow, and Vona's Hunger. This card seems really good. This card seems like it's a very good removal spell. 3 mana instant that just makes your opponent sack half the creatures they control rounded up. And only if you have Ascend, of course, or the City's Blessing. But the chances of you having the City's Blessing is, if you're running that card, you're going to be building a deck that does have that, right? Like, I mean, you're not going to play that card in a deck that doesn't have the City's Blessing. Or doesn't have the ability to get to Ascend fairly quickly, is what I should say. Slippery Scoundrel, Forerunner of the Legion, Shake the Foundations, and a Crafty Cutpurse. Little 2/2 with flash for 4 that says, when it enters battlefield, each token that would be created under an opponent's control this turn is created under your control instead. So it's an interesting little card because you can be like, oh, you made that? No, I made that. Sorry, friend. Sorry, friend, but I'm going to steal that from you. Is that cool? I'm going to take these out of here. I'm going to get rid of this box so that I have a little more space to work with. So you can still see the packs here. Boom. There you go. Adzokun Seer, Highland Lake, Pride of Conquerors. Hey, Itali, Primal Storm. Finally, we hit one of these other Elder Dragons. So there's the red one. So this is a 6 mana 6/6 that says when it attacks, exile the top card of each player's library. Then you may cast any number of non-land cards exiled this way without paying their mana cost. So if you're playing this in a multiplayer format, you get to exile somewhere between 3 to 4 cards, most likely, and you get to play them, provided they're non-land cards, which is pretty nice. And we got a foil Negate. That's not bad. Foil Negate seems pretty good. Negate is a card that a lot of people play in pretty much every standard deck. This pack feels... These packs are feeling really weird. Like, almost kind of like slippery. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm just noticing it now, and it's been like that the whole time, and I'm just silly and going crazy. Legion Lieutenant, or crazier than normal anyway. Needletooth Raptor. Forerunner of the Coalition. And a foil Release to the Wind. We got 2 foil rares in this box. And our foil rare being in front like this means that we have a flip card. So what do we got in the flip card? Huh? Hey, we hit a Mythic finally. Yeah, come to think of it, we only have 2 Mythics so far. And so again, is this Miscut? It's miscut a little, but it's not as bad as the Journey and the Profane. The Profane Procession and the Journey to Eternity are like super bad. This, the white dot, is just in the corner as opposed to like a little bit ways down from the corner. Anyway, I don't have this yet, so Azor's Gateway, which is a 2 mana and artifact. It says pay 1, tap, draw a card, then exile a card from your hand. If cards with 5 or more different converted mana costs are exiled, with this card, gain 5 life, untap it, and transform it. And it transforms into this, which is add X mana to your of any one color to your mana pool, where X is your life total. Holy bejeebus. X is your life total. My goodness. In Commander, that's going to be pretty crazy, I would think, since your life total is normally fairly high. Here, this card, Impale. Chupacabra is just better than Impale. Forerunner of the Empire. Siren Reaver. Needletooth Raptor. And Tilonali's Summoner. So, a 1/1 for 2 with Ascend that says, whenever Tilonali's Summoner attacks, you may pay 1 red and X. If you do, create X 1/1 red elemental creature tokens that are tapped and attacking. At the beginning of the next end step, exile those tokens unless you have the city's blessing. So the thing is that she makes a whole pile of tokens which count as permanents. So if you pay 1 red and 4, you now get 4 permanents. So if you don't have the city's blessing, chances are you get it when you attack with her. Merfolk Mistbinder, which I'm going to put down here because I need it. Forsaken Sanctuary, Charging Tuskodon, and a rare is Admiral's Order, which is basically just cancel in rare form. And the only reason it's rare as opposed to common is because if you attacked, you can pay 1 blue instead of paying 3. But the thing about that means that it's only really useful about countering tricks or things that your opponent are trying to do at the end of your turn, maybe, for 1 blue. So I mean, like, it's not bad. It's just I don't know how I feel about it. Stormfleet Swashbuckler foil. So there you go. We got another foil. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 foils in this box. It's pretty crazy. 9 foils, but only 2 mythics. That's kind of low. I would expect to see at least 3 mythics minimum from this, especially since the set is low, is a low numbered set. Cherished Hatchling, Flood of Recollection, Deadeye Brawler, and hey, we got a Kamena. Air horns and what have you. Kamena is the highest priced mythic in this set right now. I foresee her going down in price, at least for a little while. Although she makes one hell of a commander for a Merfolk deck. Mainly because she has so many friggin' abilities for Merfolk. It's crazy. Like, if you want to play her in a green-blue commander deck, go for it. She definitely has value as a commander. That's for sure. Especially if you can play her in a deck with mostly Merfolk, which there are plenty of Merfolk to go around for commander these days. Imperial Ceratops, Crested Herd Caller, another Deadeye Brawler, and a Tendershoot Dryad. This card seems really cool. I played against a guy at my first pre-release, who had 2 of these and a Huatley in his sealed pool. And that's just like, brr. Huatley comes out and she's like, plus 15. I'm just going to plus 15. Is that cool? And you're like, I guess. So this guy is a 5 mana 2/2 with Ascend that says at the beginning of each upkeep, put a 1/1 green sapling into play. And then saplings you control get +2/+2 as long as you have the city's blessing, which is going to be pretty quick since you're adding one on your turn and on your opponent's turn every upkeep. Blazing Hope, Oathsworn Vampire, Thrashing Brontodon, very good card. I need another one of these. And a Direfleet Poisoner, also very good rare. A little 2/2 flash Death Touch pirate that gives an attacking pirate you control +1/+1 and Death Touch until end of turn. So you can use it aggressively. You can also use it defensively. It's definitely a very good trick. Forerunner of the Heralds, Slippery Scoundrel, Oathsworn Vampire, got it right that time. Crafty Cutpurse, so that's our second Crafty Cutpurse. So there you go. Wow, so we're only going to hit 3 Mythics out of this box. But we did hit 2 foil rares. So, I mean, I can't complain about that, especially since one of them was a foil Journey to Eternity. And we also hit a whole bunch of miscut flip cards, which is kind of interesting. Imperial Ceratops, Relentless Raptor, Famished Paladin, and oh, we hit a 4th Mythic, and it's a Polyraptor. I don't have this guy yet, so I'm super stoked to see this come out of this, because I want to play with this card so bad. I want to poke around with it and see what kind of nonsense you can do, because so it's whenever Polyraptor is dealt damage, create a token that is a copy of Polyraptor, right? So you play him with the Forerunner, the red Forerunner. So he comes in, he does a damage to himself, he makes a copy of himself. That copy triggers the Forerunner again. It does a damage to this copy and the copy, and then those both make copies, and so on and so forth. So you end up with like a whole pile of things, and that's pretty hilarious. We got another foil. Holy moly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 foils. 10 foils, 4 mythics, 2 foil rares in one box. I don't know if it's going to get much better than that, to be completely honest with you. Box 1 seems like it was pretty spicy. And having those miscut flip lands the flip cards is kind of interesting. I'll have to go on to like the misprints and oddities group and see if anyone's interested in them. I don't know. I don't know if they have like a higher value or not or anything like that, but sometimes people just want that stuff. They want to have the cards that are like weird and unique because they have manufacturing defects, basically. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry it was so friggin' long, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it anyway. I hope you guys have enjoyed the new set, Rivals of Ixalan. I hope you guys got your product this weekend if you were able to. If not, hopefully you can get it soon and get your hands on it yourself and take a look at it and play around with it. It seems like a pretty interesting set, that's for sure. They've definitely tried some new things, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see how things go moving forward. Anyway, thanks you so much for watching. I've been your host, Mr. Bevers. Don't forget, I have a store, nerdvanastore.ca, for all your single needs, as well as a Patreon where you can help support me and the channel. I would really appreciate it. But not only that, you get a discount code to the store, and then you also get things like a grab bag or a booster box or a bundle or whatever it is if you sub at those values. And if you don't want to sub at any of those values, you can just give, like whatever, $1, $2. Every dollar counts, man. I would really appreciate it. If you can't support monetarily, don't even worry about it. I appreciate even just your views. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, may your pulls ever be better.